In this video, I am going to go through everything you need to know about the brand new control rework, from which moves can be cantricked to secret tips and tricks when fighting as a control user. And with that, let's begin the video. The base form M1s behave like your typical mythical fruit M1s. They stun and they hit wherever your mouse is pointing at. It can be cantricked, so it's very unreliable. Next you have the X move, but without the rune. I absolutely love this version of the move. It stuns, it has decent range, and the damage is actually pretty good, knowing that it is without the rune. You can cantrick the first hit that drags you, however the second hit breaks your can, so you will still be stunned but you will take less damage. Now we have the base form C move. This C move acts as a boomerang and sends your opponent flying and bringing them back to you. It also breaks can, making it suitable for a combo starter, and has very good long range and high combo potential. You cannot cantrick this move and it also breaks your can. Moving on, we have the F move. This move has really long range and really good damage. It is also really good movement and teleports you anywhere you hit. It has no end lag. If you tap the move before it lands, it just teleports to wherever it was before. However, it does break your can. It also cannot be cantricked. Also, your enemies are able to attack you as soon as the move is over, so you can be countered if you use this move on a good player. It depends on your ping, so it's basically a 50-50. Now onto the Z move. The Z move actually does damage to players, but the range and damage is very little, so it's basically irrelevant. The range is kind of like Angel V4. It does stun players who are hit, making you able to land a free combo if you're lucky, while players can also attack you as soon as the move is done. It can be cantricked and it doesn't break can. Before I move on, can I ask you to please like the video if you made it this far? If you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. We are now moving on to the Dagger Mode. The X move has good medium range. It is now also a good time to inform you that all the X moves with control have the same range. I checked it myself. This X move variant has the most knockback and it stuns as usual. Just like the previous X move, the first part doesn't break your can, the second part breaks your can. The C move for Dagger's mode behaves like it's in a sea. It pulls enemies and sucks them into it. The range is literally anywhere in the room, and it cannot leave the room. But the hitbox just kinda sits there at the edge of the room, so if someone is like at the very edge of the room outside, it will still hit them. It can be cantricked somehow. My friend was able to do it, I was also able to do it once. But it is extremely hard to cantrick, so don't worry about someone cantricking your combo. The move does break your can. Dagger's M1 has the range of the entire room. It does very little damage, but it can be spammed really quickly. The line doesn't have to be touched with the enemy, but it has to be somewhat close to them for it to land. It does not can break, of course, but it stuns your enemies and it can be used to cancel other people's moves as well. The rocks it creates by cutting objects can also be used to break your can. Now we have the fist mode. The M1s are very slow. It behaves like the X move from the old control. The longer you hold it for, the bigger the rock, and the bigger the rock, the more damage it does. It can be thrown anywhere in the room. The rocks can also be thrown outside the room. They actually have very insane range, and it can be used to hit people that are room camping. However, it has very slow movement speed, and this is the only M1 that breaks your can, and you cannot cantrick this move even when you're at the edge. It also does a lot of knockback, which is very annoying. The X move on fist mode has less knockback than Dagger's mode. As I said before, it has the same range as the other X moves. It does good stun, but you can cantrick the entire move, except for the last hit that brings you down. You can cantrick the first part, the second part of the move you can also cantrick that, but the slam down part, you cannot cantrick that, that breaks your can and stuns you. It's basically the worst X move in the control kit, because it basically doesn't can break, but it's still a good move. When you miss the move, you get rocks thrown at your enemy that can do damage, but it is very unreliable because enemies can just splash out of the move. The C move, Breaks Can, has no end lag, it has decent stun, its range is also anywhere in the room. It is bad on air as it will just hit the roof of your room if you miss. The move can't hit anyone outside the room, instead it gets blocked by the room itself, so the hitbox doesn't extend out of your room. It does break Can and it pulls people who are close to the move. The move casting is also really quick. Somehow my friend managed to Ken trick it at the edge, so it is possible to Ken trick it if you are at the edge, but don't even try doing this because you can't see where it's gonna land. Obviously the V move breaks Ken, like I'm not surprised by this. Your room does close right after the move ends, so just be aware of that. Also, I'm not sure if it gives end lag, like I literally used CDKZ right after I missed the move. This is also a pro tip, the damage of the control V depends on whatever you're holding. The higher the mastery of what you're holding, the more damage it does. As you can see, as I hold items with less mastery, the less damage it does. It is not a lot of damage reduction. If you want more damage, just hold whatever weapon you have that has the most mastery. When you flash step with control, it obviously raises a pillar for more movement. The pillar blocks players from going through, obviously, but it lets projectiles go through, which is kind of weird because normal walls block projectiles. So it means you can hit someone from behind a wall. Finally, you can also walk on water if you have the control fruit. You can walk on water whether you have the room on or off. However, you cannot flash step on water. Using moves that move your hitbox, aka mobility moves, will make you take damage on water. While your room is open, you will gain certain movement buffs. Your jumps will be higher, I think it's almost double the distance, and this gives you an advantage when fighting other players. I'm not sure if it gives extra movement speed, like I tried to see if it does, but from this clip here I don't think so. Another thing you need to know about the control fruit is that your room won't close when you're inside of it. It will only close if you leave the room for more than 7 seconds. It doesn't matter if you just open the room, it will disappear once you leave for 7 seconds. Entering the room again will reset the timer, and you can leave the room and it will vanish until the 7 seconds are over. The best fighting styles I would recommend is like Sanguine or Godhuman, but mainly Sanguine. Due to most control moves leaving your opponent stunned in front of you, it enables easy combos with Sanguine. The sword I would recommend if you're using control is either CDK or Spiky Trident. It helps you combo extend after you land your moves really easily. It is best to use your V move as a combo finisher, as it makes the room disappear after it lands, which can leave you vulnerable. If your opponent is holding Godhuman C, and it is within range of landing, just hold your V move as you will either get iframes or the move hits, so you basically have nothing to lose. Also, save your V move and use it to punish opponents for holding down moves like Godhuman, Dragon or Doe. The Coco buff is still available with this current control, so if you're like me that plays hybrid, you can still use control and Coco together. When fighting with control, I would recommend you use the fist mode for fighting on the ground and the dagger mode for fighting in the air, as these are the best scenarios for the both modes. When you are fighting a control user, please avoid holding down moves. It is easily punishable as they have multiple moves with long range that instantly combo you. The best fruits to counter control are Lightning, Kitsune, Control itself and Flame. Yes, Flame can counter control as it cancels a lot of moves. If you are using control to PvP, I would recommend using Cyborg, Ghoul or Human. Usually I would say Draco instead of Human, but with the aura around you when you pop the V4 and the small room that tints your screen blue or purple, it becomes hard to see like this, which can make you miss your moves. That is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe with the notification bell on to know when I upload in the future, and have a good day.